Cool.
Awesome. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing super well. All right, you ready to just go ahead, get started?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So what made you want to take the leap from acting or from music to acting?
Um, wow. It kind of found me. I never said I wanted to be an actor. I never even thought I could be an actor. I always loved music. I started to get auditions for musical parts.
Hmm.
So I was signed with an agent who would book me out for music work. And then occasionally they would send stuff like Pitch Perfect or Glee, things of that sort that was musical. So that was kind of my first introduction into acting. I auditioned for all of those shows. I was terrible. I was a terrible actor. I didn't know what I was doing, but I thought, wow, this is kind of cool. I didn't even know that this was something I could do. So I talked to them and said, I'm going to train. I'm going to get into classes. I want to do this more. So that was kind of my weird way into acting.
That's awesome. Do you find it like more liberating than performing? Because performing, you're singing like personal songs and it's like you with your sister or by yourself with a guitar and it's your own words. But then in acting, it's somebody else's words, but it's still you. Is it more or less intimidating for you?
It's weirdly less intimidating, but it also depends on what I'm doing. If I was doing Death of a Salesman on Broadway, I think I would be like, there's more levels of stress with certain things for sure. But the one thing that I do like about acting that I don't that doesn't translate into music is in acting, there's sometimes some beauty and imperfections and like kind of weird surprises happening. And in music, I like to be a little bit more on top of things. And for a live set, there's all these things that need to go right, go or work correctly in order for the show to be a good show. And even as far as like having every song be on pitch and like all the notes and all the harmonies, and am I singing correctly with my sister, and are we moving together as a band? And sometimes in acting you do have that kind of same moving together and collaborating with people, but sometimes if you do something weird it kind of works and it's fun. So there's a little bit more freedom in acting, I think.
That's very interesting. So Marion Gay, that's your second time working with Kristen, right?
Yes.
Yes. How was it? Like, did you have to audition for this one, or did she basically call you up and say, "Hey, I miss you. Do you want to do this movie?"
She called me, and I love Kristen, and she gave me such a great opportunity with I Hate New Year's a few years ago, and we just get along really, really well. Almost to the point when on set, if there's something a little off, or if I'm doing something a little off, she doesn't have to come over and explain it to me. She's kind of just like, Dia, do something else. And I know what she's talking about,
Yeah.
and we just have spent so much time together that we kind of, it's almost like writing music with my sister. We spend so much time together, we don't need to explain exactly what we want, or if there's a correction, exactly what we need to do. We just know. But Kristen's great. Kristen's such a positive person, and um especially on low budget films, so many things can go wrong, so many things you have to kind of change up in the moment. And I've seen people lose their cool or start yelling at people, or kind of, if something's not going their way, take it out on somebody else. And Kristen's just even keel, like goes with the flow. And I love that.
I feel like that's nice. It creates like a set of like more freedom, like relaxed. Like there's not somebody just screaming and yelling because that never
Yeah.
works.
A lot of freedom, a lot of trust. Yeah.
Yeah. And you had a song. You wrote this for the movie?
I didn't write this song. I wrote
Oh,
a song
okay.
for another one of her Christmas
Got
movies.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was my mistake.
No, no, no. It's all good. I write a
Uh,
lot of songs.
yeah, that's true. So did you enjoy like mixing acting and singing? Like you said, you got a lot of those roles before, but this one, your character's on Broadway doing a fake Friends musical, and then you had that like full blown musical number in the city square. Like, was it really fun for to like fully combine into almost a musical for this movie?
Yeah. Um, I love musicals. I loved that theatrical scene we did together. It was really fun. I mean, music just is joyful to me, so it was a really fun experience.
So it was like a full-on musical, like in your dream future for you?
I hope so. I hope so. I've written a couple musicals, so
Oh wow.
I'm hoping to get them off the ground. But I mean, I love movies. I love music. Whenever they're merged together in a nice way, it makes my soul sing.
So is that what initially drew you to the role, or is it like something about Becca that you were like, oh, I really see myself in her, or oh, this is going to be a challenge to play?
I think there were a lot of things that drew me to Marion Gay. One, working with Kristen. I always love working with her. Everyone that she brings onto set is always amazing. So for me, I was just like, of course, I want to go to Tennessee and hang out with great people for 2 weeks. So that's a no-brainer. Um, and also, I love Christmas. I literally was just watching a Christmas movie before this interview. I genuinely love rom-coms, and I was looking at Santa mugs earlier for Black Friday to like give to all my sisters. I'm legitimately a Christmas nerd. And so I love anything Christmas, I'm always on board for. But the story was just really beautiful. I love high school sweethearts and kind of like coming back to an old romance because you always have those strong connections with people in your youth. I had a high school sweetheart um, that was very, very dear to me. And it's just those memories and you know, you always think, what if? And in my life, I was like, what if I ended up with so and so, or what if we did make it all throughout high school? And in a weird way, you kind of get to live out different what ifs in acting. I got to live out that story of what it would be like to rekindle a high school romance.